Namaste. Welcome, Croeso. Welcome to Sharing is Caring Sunday. This is number 39. I've been sharing and caring on a Sunday morning at 9:30 for 39 weeks now, including today. Mainly reflecting on the practices in my yoga therapy course, but also taking into account the needs of the moment, depending on what's going on in the world. I've adapted my classes and also making them accessible to everybody so that whoever manages to come live or catches up with me in the catch-up feed can partake and enjoy if that's what they want to do. So my approach to yoga is a holistic one. I look at my yoga as my spiritual path, as my blueprint for living a good life, which includes my health and well-being, not just of the physical body, of the Annamaya kosha, but the Manomaya kosha, the mind, and also the Pranamaya kosha, the energetic body, and the breath. So that is my approach. So I like to practice from that perspective. Sometimes I like, to push the envelope a little bit and do a strong practice. This week I have chosen to teach another chair practice because I was asked for one earlier in the week, and it actually suits my own needs today. I have a metabolic, and I don't like to say the word disease, but it is a genetic condition whereby my system retains too much iron, and that is, in terms of symptoms, similar to being anemic. The genetic disorder I have is called haemochromatosis, which is not that widely known, even though there's probably about 1 in 10 people in the UK carrying either one gene or both genes. I have both, which means I present with symptoms, so I get a case of unbound iron. Too much iron collects in my blood, and of course that can be challenging for certain organs and certain functions, including the heart, the kidneys, the liver. Also, it has an effect on the pituitary gland and can cause very similar things to anemia or chronic fatigue, as it does involve a foggy brain. It can involve joint pain, similar to osteoarthritis. It can involve a heaviness and pain in the abdomen, even though that might not be acute. Everyone reacts differently. And certainly fatigue. I mean, absolutely the type of fatigue that you can't battle through with your will or with adrenaline. You just have to actually surrender to it and rest. So I've been in that state for the last week. It doesn't happen very often, maybe the last 2 weeks actually, because I needed treatment, and the treatment is not it's not down to pharmaceuticals, it's not down to drugs or anything, but people with haemochromatosis have to keep the iron levels down. So we have something called venous section or a phlebotomy. We have to give blood, and we do that according to the levels of iron in our blood. So it could be sometimes a few times a week, which is not very nice. I've been there once, but not now. Once a month, once 3 months, once every 6 months, once a year. So I'm on a kind of maintenance situation of once every 10 weeks to 12 weeks. And if I don't do that, my whole system becomes quite sick, becomes quite ill. So I'm just mentioning that, not really to kind of tell you about my condition, because it doesn't generally affect me in everyday life, but also to raise awareness about haemochromatosis, particularly if you are from the Celtic nations. There's a prevalence of this genetic mutation, I guess, in the Celtic nations, particularly Irish, I'm of Irish parentage. I was born in Wales, but my parents are Irish, or Welsh, or Scottish. There seems to be a higher, they call it the Celtic Curse. So I just wanted to put that out there as well, to raise a little bit of awareness, because if for instance it comes up in a conversation and I tell somebody I've got it, I mean, I don't advertise it, but if I do tell somebody I've got it, there can be, oh, didn't know about it, didn't know what it was. And up until very recently, general practitioners didn't have it in their awareness either, and could overlook it and misdiagnose it. So it's just quite handy for you to be aware that this thing exists, and it can be sorted out pretty easily with phlebotomy or venesection, as I call it. And it's tracked down just by a simple blood test. You know, you might have to have a couple of blood tests, a genetic blood test and an ordinary blood sample as well. So if you feel tired, can't put it down to anything specific, really, really tired, if your skin is starting to maybe look sun-tanned and it's not even, you know, sunny outside, because the iron deposits affect the colour of the skin, can make it a kind of, they call us rusties, so we can look a bit rusty. I haven't got to that stage, but some people do before they realise what it is. If you have joint pains that are not explained, or just a feeling of depression, because it brings you down, the heaviness of the iron in the system actually can really bring you down and make you feel heavy in your spirit and heavy in your body and mind. And I think it's worth me just mentioning what it is, because people die of it if it's not diagnosed, because it can collect in the organs, and that can lead to organ failure or organ malfunction, or maybe just, you know, a sickness, you know, feeling of sickness. And I know that a couple of people that were dear to me died of liver issues partially due to haemochromatosis. Okay, so that's that. So I'm feeling a bit delicate, so you can imagine if you're recovering from COVID, or you suffer chronic fatigue, or any other kind of, if you like, autoimmune condition, and you feel like getting on the floor and doing a strong yoga practice, or standing up and doing lots of warrior postures is just beyond you at the moment, or is just not what you are able to commit to, then a chair yoga practice can be wonderful for all ages. It may sometimes just be something that you need to do to nourish yourself, to restore and rejuvenate yourself. So I'd like you to place your feet flat on the floor, so that the knees are over the ankles, and the knees are in direct line with the hips. And you can, if you're very small, I'm pretty small, but my feet are flat on the floor. If you're pretty small and you feel your feet are dangling, you need to put them on a couple of blocks, which can feel really nice and supported in any case. And it can feel really quite nice to do that. I'm not going to use them for the moment, so I'm going to just put those to one side. You need to have a sturdy chair with no arms and plenty of space around you, because we will move even though we're sitting down. And it's quite handy if you have got a sticky mat, or a mat that's really connected to the floor and won't slip, to put your chair on a mat so that it doesn't slip and you feel a little bit more grounded. I am sitting, and I'm going to turn around so you can see. I am not sitting right back in my chair with my back leaning against, I've got what they call a yoga chairs, but I'm not leaning right against the metal bar at the back. I'm kind of coming to midway point so that I can feel my feet really firm on the floor. My hips are really nicely in line with my knees, and my feet are hip distance apart, so everything's nicely lined up. And my spine is really rising up through my crown, so from my sit bones right up along the spine to the top of my head, I have a nice upright energy. I have natural curves, but my spine is nice and tall. And this is how we sit for chair yoga. So let us sit up with a nice long spine, our knees over our ankles, feet are pressing down so we feel really connected and grounded with the earth. There's an aliveness here, there's some work going on, so we're not slumping and relaxing, we are upright. The chest is open, the collarbones are spreading, the shoulders are coming down away from the ears. So we're not like this. We're really trying to bring the shoulders down away from the ears, and the scapula can slide down the back. Hands gently placed on the knees area, the thighs area. We're just going to take a couple of nice deep breaths. You can close your eyes if that helps you to concentrate on bringing the breath into the lower, mid and upper lobes of the lungs. We're just going to do 3 breaths. So breathing in and out. And as you breathe out, you can slightly contract the belly if you like to. Breathing in, a kind of subtle rising up with the spine, the head. Breathing out, no collapsing as you breathe out, but a gentle contraction of the belly. And one last time, breathing in and breathing out. As I say, no collapsing, maintaining an aliveness in the legs, in the feet, maintaining a connection with the earth. We're going to join our hands together and close our eyes. And just be in your space, calm in your mind. Subtle breath, doesn't need to be a laboured breath, just a subtle breath coming in and out of the nostrils. A definite feeling of alertness in the body, allowing the body to feel alive and connected to the ground. As your spine rises up, your feet press down. So this is an active posture. We're just going to chant 3 Oms, A, U, M, in honor of the yoga, a universal prayer that is really being led by Dr. Ananda in support of the real crisis of COVID in India, to have a moment every day where we unite with the same intention, the intention of health and well-being for all people. So breathe in. Breathe in. Last round in. You can release your hands and just enjoy the vibration for a moment. Maybe noticing the aliveness in the hands, the tingling, the vibration through the whole system. The feeling of calm and peace that chanting the Om, the primordial sound, that we as humans can get as far as we can to replicating within our limits. And you can open your eyes and come into the room and come into the practice. And we are going to start with using some just jatis, seated jatis we call them, loosening up movements. As I say, make sure you have space around you, because even though we're seated, we are going to move. So please take the right hand and just really have a limp wrist and just shake it out, just shaking out the right hand. And maybe using the elbow now as well, just using that to shake out any tension. And give it a good shake, don't be afraid of it. This can really help as well if you have stiff joints and the shoulders. So the whole right arm. It's not doing any particular you know, kind of movement, you know, you're just letting it go naturally, okay? And just let that relax. And just notice you've woken up your whole right arm, and then the other hand. Left hand, just shaking it out. Give it a good shake. Get rid of all the tension. And the left elbow. And then the shoulder. And try and keep the rest of the body alert and alive with the feet pressing down. But, you know, you are not involving the rest of the body yet, okay? And leave it come down. Just pause there. Now let's do 2. And you can look funny, you can look crazy, it really doesn't matter. We're trying to get rid of tension and stress and lethargy and fatigue. And we can shake it up in the air, really, really up in the air, high as we want. We can shake it out to the sides. We can do it one side and the other side a few times, just shaking it up, shake it down. Remember to lean forward from the hips, you're not bending your back, and back up and back down. Feet are engaged. Anyone can do this. Go as far as you can. Don't have to stress and go too far. Now bring it in and then shh. Okay, let it go. Really let it go. And come back to your nice seated calm position. Close your eyes and just notice what you're doing. Bring the hands together and link them, however it comes naturally for you to link them. And you're just going to kind of do this figure of 8, okay? So it's I'm pointing into one direction and doing a kind of infinity kind of sign, or a figure of 8. And I have got dark clothes on, you can't see the way my elbows maybe are moving. They're moving like pistons. And then go the other way. Go the other way. And shake it out. Now, join the fingers in a way that is not that comfortable. You know, we always go to what's comfortable and what's our habit. So in yoga, we're trying to maintain balance in everything. Balance in our whole lives. Which means we don't get stuck on doing one thing one way. Okay, we try and do it both ways and come to a balance. So it can feel a bit sticky to bring your fingers together in a way you're not used to. And you think, I'm not going to do that. But there's a way to do it. So, and it doesn't feel as comfortable. Certainly it doesn't for me. And we're going to do the thing again. And it actually restricts my movement to a certain amount. And I'm going to go the other way. And just keep breathing. Keep pressing the feet into the floor. Try not to lose the engagement with the feet on the floor. Keeping yourself grounded will keep you steady on the chair. And shake it out again. Good. Bring it in. And when you whoosh, really whoosh. Let it go. Let everyday burden and stress and nonsense go. Don't carry it around with you. Okay? Even if you do that once or twice a day, it can be really helpful. I did it after a difficult phone call the other night, and I can tell you I was laughing by the end. It was fine. So, we're going to just warm up the feet. I'm not sure if you can see my feet. But they're on the floor and they're pressing down. And I'm just going to reaffirm that I'm sitting up tall. My belly is soft, my chest is open, my shoulders are down. Okay? Anyone can do this, okay? From grandma to, you know, almost just 3 or 4 years of age. Can really be nice to do things like this together. I have to have a small chair for a 4-year-old, but I do it with the kids in school, in Cardiff. So lift up the right foot, and you're just going to rotate that right foot. And try and make the circles. I mean, if you can't bring your knee right up, it's not a problem. Do it to whatever your level is. Try and make the circles big. So you're drawing a circle with the toe. You'll feel it in the thigh, okay? And go the other way. And if you don't have energy to do anything else, this can really help you and change your perspective and put you in a feeling of, I've done something, I feel good. And do it the other way. So, you know, you're working the leg here. I'm working my leg here. Just rotating and drawing a circle with your toe. And then maybe bend the leg out and back and place it down. Now, sometimes we lean back when we want to lift the leg, okay? So it's better to stay straight or upright, we're not really straight, but sitting upright and not lifting the leg so much, then coming all the way back here so you can lift the leg high, okay? So let's try the left foot, lift it up, and some nice rotations. And hands can be on the chair if you feel more sturdy like that, or you can have them on your thighs, and make sure that the right foot that's on the floor is pressing down. So you're making this active work even though you're using your chair. So this could be really nice for all sorts of people with all sorts of limitations, or people recovering from, you know, hospitalization, being a long time in bed. You need to recover your strength. And I can feel it now on the top of my leg. I'm going a little bit longer than I would if I was sitting on the floor, because I got the support of the chair, and I can now feel it in my upper thigh. And relax. And maybe you need to wiggle a bit. Maybe that got you a little bit in the thighs, maybe even a little bit in the lower back. Okay, so you know, just wiggle around a little bit and come back to your nice position. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work on the hands, because we hold a lot of stress in our hands, and quite often from the devices we use, but just generally we do hold a lot of tension and stress in the hands. So I just want you to bring the hands out in front so that it's almost like a stop sign, okay? And the arms are coming out from the shoulders, okay? They're not back, they're coming out. And you're going to come down with them. We're going to open the wrists a little bit. Breathing in, come up. Breathing out, down. Breathing in, come up. Breathing out, come down. And then you may want to breathe in and really push. Push away so you can feel it from the shoulders right through to the wrist. You're just stretching the wrist as well a little bit. And then the other way. So we do this sometimes on all fours when we're practicing hatha yoga on the floor, just to open up the wrist and bring some nice fluids in there, some nice oxygenated blood. Try and get rid of any of the blockages and tension, and then shake it out. Shake it out. And then we're bringing the arm forward, and I'm just going to press my palm towards you while pointing my fingers down. And I don't want you to pull too hard on your fingers, but see if you can bring the fingers back slightly. And the elbow is pretty straight, but don't lock it if it gives you pain or you have tennis elbow and different things wrong with your shoulder. I'm just stretching and opening my wrist a little. So I go as far as I can. Mine is this far. So some people can get their fingers to the forearm. That's not me, okay? This is strong enough for me. And shake it out. Lovely. Shake, shake, shake. And the other side. So placing the palm forward, and one arm and wrist will feel very different to the other. And the hands onto the fingers. And see if you can just, with a soft mind, you know, not stressing about it, a calm mind and a nice soft breath. See if you can encourage the fingers to come back a little, but don't do it if it's hurting. You know, just go within your own body's limitations. We all have different things going on at different times. And stretch it out. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of work for the wrists, okay? We did some shaking out and we've done some opening, but let's do a little bit of rotation. This work also helps the brain function and helps the nervous system, because we're bringing everything, we're using right and left, bringing it all together. It's really nice work. Now I've got my hands in a fist. You can have them open if that suits, okay? And even if they are in a fist, you don't need to grip them. And the other way. Literally doing a huge circle, getting the full range of motion for your joint, and put it down on the other hand. And this is all, you know, on the surface simple stuff, but if you're in a, you know, in a sort of situation where you're recovering and you've had chronic fatigue and you can barely get out of bed, this is also work for you, okay? This is going to help you to start to build on your strength and again your mobility and your flexibility, and shake it out. And we're going to do both. Okay, so I'm going in other ways. I look like I'm doing a conduct in a little orchestra, and I'm going to do the other way. Good. And shake it out. Bring both arms up now and make yourself long. So you have your sit bones really firm on the seat. They're not moving. Your feet are firm. Knees are bent directly in front of your hips. Breathe in and actively stretch. So maybe the ears just on the insides of the arms. Now drop the shoulders. Drop the shoulders. So you're not hunching the shoulders. We'll do that 3 times. Breathing in. Welcome to hunch shoulders. Strengthen upwards, lengthen the side body, and breathe out. And think about not dropping the arms, but using your scapula to drop the shoulders. Breathing in, lengthen, long and strong, and breathing out. Oh, that's nice. I enjoy that. Let the shoulder blades lead the game. Breathing out, lengthen with the palms up. And breathe in, then right arm down, breathe in, bring it up, left arm down, and it's only coming in line with the shoulder. Bring it up and both arms down, and shake out. Maybe do some nice shoulder shrugs, coming forward and back, and then the opposite way, so you just relieve yourself of any tension in there. And here, we're going to do a little bit of work for the neck, okay? A little bit of work for the neck. But just take a moment to let everything settle. I want you to breathe in and look slowly to the right. So you're just bringing your face towards the right. As gently as you can, so don't go further than what your range of movement is for this morning. Breathing out, we're looking to the left. And you might have a bit more twinge on one side than the other, so be slow. Breathing in, come right, and breathing out, come left. Maybe you're tall in your spine and you're pressing your feet down. Your legs are active, they're not asleep. Breathe in, right. Breathe out, coming to your left. And breathe in, come back to the center. Bring your hands to your heart. You know, the purpose of this class is to help you heal, and we also need to heal from the inside out. I'm going to bring my left hand under my right initially, okay? So I'm breathing in and I'm opening with my right arm and twisting, twisting. And I'm bringing it back. I'm going to change where my hands are. Breathing in and back. Make sure that you're twisting from the middle, okay? You don't have to twist with your neck and your head. I'm breathing in, I'm twisting slightly, not too much because we're not on an out breath. Okay, we're going to hold it in a minute on an out breath. Bring it back. Other side, breathing in. And breathing out, bring it back. And just drop your hands for a moment. Re-engage the feet. Make sure that they're parallel. One is not in front of the other. And they are holding you strong, just as your bottom would be if you were sitting on the floor. They're holding you strong. So there's a rebound energy from the soles of the feet, through the ankles, up the shin, the knee, through the femur, into the hip. So you're making that connection with your mind between your feet, the heel particularly, and the hip. This will keep you strong so you won't topple off the chair. Okay. So we are going to bring the left hand in towards the heart. We're going to place the right on top. We're going to breathe in here and open. Now we're going to breathe out, twist more. We're going to breathe in and lengthen. And we're going to breathe out and twist a little more. If you twist On the out breath and bring the belly back, you'll twist through your spine, which is the whole purpose, not twisting up through the cervical spine. You know, that will follow, but we start with the, almost if you can think about in line with the belly button maybe. So, right hand under left. No rush this morning, absolutely no rush. This is just going to help the brain function and the nervous system and open up the body a little. Breathing in, I'm opening up the left. Then I breathe out and I twist a little more. But I don't go beyond what I feel is okay. I breathe in, I lengthen. I breathe out and I'm twisting my spine a little more. I'm breathing in and I'm coming back. Now, just take a moment here. Remember, the feet are connected with the floor. I'm going to raise my right arm as I lift my left leg. So we're doing left brain, right brain, some coordination, okay? So I'm lifting up my right arm and my left leg. And I'm pressing through the sole of my foot. So I really have length going in opposite directions. And then I'm breathing out and bringing it back. Other side, breathing in. Right leg up, left leg. And I'm really pushing from the heel to my hip. I'm stretching out my leg. And I'm holding it there. So there's work here. And breathing out. Breathing in, lift it up. Breathing out, bring it back down. Left arm, right leg, press through. Maintain your sit bones, maintain the robust position, maintain the foot on the floor. And out. We'll do two more, it's quite good, it's quite nice. Breathing in, lift the foot and push through it. Right up with your arm and down. And left arm. Breathe in and lengthen and create space everywhere. And breathing out, it comes back down. Wonderful. Take a moment. Bring the right knee in and up. Maybe there's a bit more space for it to come in and up now without coming back. Try not to sink. See if you can open up. Hold on under the knee, might be for you. That can be a little bit more comfortable. For those of you who get the knee right up towards the chest, you can hold the shin. And I'm just again rotating. Now because I'm holding my knee in and holding onto the shin, obviously it is really just the ankle joint working. It's not the whole leg. And the other side. Keeping those joints really juiced up and healthy. Especially as we get older, we get some, crystallization, we get some osteoarthritis, some crunching, so just keeping everything. And this is working my shin, it's working my calf, not so much my thigh. And shake it out. Shake it out, but you don't kick your foot on the chair and let it come back down. Just take a moment and we'll do the other side. So as I say, fine to hold under the knee. This is quite a comfortable place to hold the leg. But if you feel you want to come up a little higher, then that's good. Nice big circles. Use your breath. Try not to lean back. Keep the chest open, the shoulders down. Face nice and soft. Rotate in either direction a few times and still, until you feel there's something starting to work here. You can feel it. Okay, don't go beyond that. Keeping the feet strong is really important. They're our base to the earth. We use them quite a lot if we're lucky enough to have them. Some people don't. So being grateful for what we are blessed with and shake it out and just let that rest a little. You might want to shake it out, get the tension out if you've been using the muscles quite a lot. We're going to do a little bit of work for the hip. Now this seated, it's like a seated pigeon pose, okay? Kapotanasana in the seat. We do it sometimes lying on the floor. And depending how open your hips are. You may want to not bring your foot all the way up here. Maybe it just actually, comes to the side. And you have to hold it there and maybe bounce it out, or maybe actually I can move back a little bit. Yeah, you can move back a little bit in your chair, as long as you haven't got too much of a hard chair, and actually that's quite a nice way to do it. Yeah, so we're just opening, loosening. When I say loosening, it makes me worried. Maybe I shouldn't say loosening, because we don't want loose joints, we want strong joints, but we want flexibility and we want range of movement. There you go. We are encouraging range of movement and we are reducing tightness and stiffness. So just bouncing it out, and that actually is quite nice to have the chair to help you with, okay? If your leg doesn't get up to the chair, you just have to put your foot on the floor and maybe encourage the knee to the right so you feel you have some opening there. And bring the foot back up. And we'll do the other side. So I'm bringing my knee in, I'm turning my foot around, and I'm placing my ankle on the chair. And I'm just bouncing my knee up and down. I'm not pressing on the knee, I'm not putting too much pressure on it. Maybe it would have been an idea for me to have a blanket under me because my ankle is pressing on the metal a little bit. That's good, and that's lovely, and bring that out. This time, if it's available to you, if it's not, repeat what we've just done, but if it's available to you, sit up nice and tall. You're not on the edge of the seat, but you're not right back either. Press the feet into the floor. Grab hold of the right knee, maybe the right foot, and see if we can flex the right foot. And then we are in our seated Kapotanasana, okay, the pigeon pose. Keeping the foot flexed will help to protect your knee joint. I don't suggest you bounce your knee here, it's fine just to hold. So you can hold the chair. I just want you to breathe in and out, and as you breathe out, see if you can soften the right hip a little. And when I say soften, I mean just allow it to relax and let go. You're not doing anything active, you're just using your focus of your mind and the breath to see if you can have an influence on the hip. And keeping this foot flexed will keep the knee safe. Just a few more breaths, making sure you're sitting up tall. I have a slightly dodgy right hip, so I'm feeling this quite strong. So you only go as far as you feel is comfortable. Don't put any exertion on your hip joints, especially if you think you may be getting, to the stage of osteoarthritis or even osteoporosis, those kinds of things. We need to be gentle. And just bring the leg back down and close your eyes and notice the blood, the energy. In yoga, we're working with the energetic body, not just the gross blood and bones and matter. We are working with our energetic body. Just notice what's happening here. And we're going to do the other side. So bringing up the left foot. And one may be much easier than the other for you. Okay? So I'm pressing my right foot down. My left foot is coming up just above the knee. It's not coming on the knee. I don't want to put any pressure there. I'm sitting up nice and tall. And initially it feels quite strong. But I want to press my right foot down. If you press your right foot down, you are going to get a bit more of a sensation in the left hip. Keeping the left foot nice and firm. Really rising up with the spine. Lovely open chest, nice broad collarbones. No holding it like this. Opening up. We'll do 3 breaths now. Every in-breath, you're going to lengthen through your spine. Every out-breath, allow the left hip to just melt. So if people do have tight hips and they normally do have the yoga and they really struggle, this supported seated pigeon pose, it can be really, really nice, can be really safe for you as well. As opposed to hanging out in that hip, trying to make it something it's not. You don't want to be something we're not. That's not what yoga is. Okay, I'm going to place my foot on the floor. And I'm just going to sit up tall and close my eyes a moment in what would normally be Samasthiti, the observation pose. Just to notice what's going on in my body. Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to turn my chair on the side because I think you'll see the position much easier from there. We are going to just place the hands on the hip creases with the feet really planted onto the floor. Nice long spine. We're going to practice Mukha Bhastrika, which is the bellows breath. Mukha Bhastrika. It's a forcing breath. So we are going to breathe in through our nostrils and out through the mouth. And the mouth is held in a kind of pursed position. We call it the crow's beak, Kaki Mudra. And we're going to blast the air out through there. So you take one breath in and you continually blast out. So you're not breathing in and out, you're not breathing in and out, okay? You breathe in and then we blast out through the mouth until every drop of air is out. We're trying to cleanse, it's a cleansing breath, as much CO2 out of our system as possible with this. We're going to do 3 rounds. So sit up nice and tall. Hands can be on the hip creases. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Breathe in, chin up to the upright position. Breathe out. Chin up, breathe in. Keep the chin forward as you come down. Breathe in. Come up and just close the eyes. Place the hands on the legs. This is normally done on the floor from Vajrasana on the knees, but people with knee injuries or people who can't get to the floor can practice this really cleansing breath. Sitting on the chair, remembering that the feet need to be engaged, you need to be safe in case there's a rush of blood to the head, that the chin points forward and you fold from the hips. Good. We're going to just place the hands behind us, not on the metal or on the wood, but see if you can press them behind you on the seated area. Maybe scoot forward a little bit, not too far forward, don't fall off. Feet are directly under my knees, directly. I'm placing my hands on the floor, on the chair. I'm breathing in here. And I'm going to just breathe out and look up. I'm not looking back, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm pressing through the floor with my feet, I'm pressing through the seat with my hands. Just a gentle back bend, opening the chest, just getting that broadness across the chest. And you can come up. Place the hands on the top of the thighs near the knees. I want you to breathe in and open the chest, roll the shoulders back. You can look up if you like to. Breathe out, suck the belly in, hunch the shoulders. Now you may need to move your arms, depends on your body. Breathe in. My hands slide up. I'm dipping my spine here. My chest is open, my neck is long. I breathe out, I'm sucking the belly in. Like Vajra tiger breathing we do on all fours. Belly in, hands can come down so that you arch a little bit. Chin into the chest. I'm sliding my hands up, I'm breathing in. And one last time, I'm breathing out, belly comes back and I'm sliding down and arching, chin comes down. And breathe in, come on up. I suggest you place the left hand onto the left side of your chair. Okay, you're going to breathe in here, lengthen as much as you can. Don't lose the connection with the floor. It's so easy to do that. It's so easy to lose the connection and let the bottom half of the body go to sleep. But I want you to be active in the chair. Okay, I'm breathing out. You're coming across. You can look down. Breathing in, you're coming up, okay, and then down to lower the arm. So breathing in and over. Make sure you sit upright in the chair, don't lean over and topple over. Feet on the floor. Breathing in and back, and we'll do that a couple of times. In, lengthen, but don't collapse. Lengthen. Just because you're on a chair, there's no need to collapse. Breathing in and down, and this time up and over. I'm sliding my hand down the leg of my chair now because I can get a little bit further, but I'm keeping my sit bones engaged and my feet are really engaged. Breathing in, I come up. I'm going to bring my hands to my shoulders. Okay, now I have to watch the back of my chair. So you watch the back of yours, because I'd like to rotate the shoulders if possible. So maybe you can bring the elbows together and up a few times. And the other way. Good. That's it. And maybe one comes up this way. It could be quite nice. Slightly different, getting some space into the armpits. And I'd like you to bring your head, hands on your head and really spread the elbows. So my palms are pressing onto my head. I'm spreading my elbows. As I spread my elbows, you can feel it in the back of your body. You can feel a little bit across the scapula. You can feel it on the collarbone slightly, but really press onto the head. Use that, press into the feet. Make the what looks like a completely static posture active, okay? Send the energy around the body, make it active. Bring the hands up, turn them up, stretch. We're going to do some forward folds, okay? So, from here, breathe in and stretch more and ping the arms open. Good. Breathe in, bring them forward, feet flat on the floor, knees nicely bent. Breathe out, you're coming forward from the hip. Just coming forward from your hip bend. You can look to the floor. Crown is coming forward. Breathe in, come up and out. We're going to do that twice more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lengthen, lengthen forward, lengthen forward. So you're coming forward, not down. You will go down, maybe in line. Not in line with the knees, but just above the knees. Breathe in, press into the floor, and open. Let's do it one last time. Breathing in here. Lengthen up as much as you can. Breathing out. Thinking of your face, your chin staying up, 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 up until you come so much forward your face has to look down. Use those arms, come on. Push through the floor. And up you come. Now, don't let anyone tell you that's not work, even though you're sitting in your chair. Okay, you're definitely working. We're going to finish with a couple of twists. Again, my knees are forward over my ankles. I'm placing my left arm across my thighs. Okay, I'm going to place my left arm across my thighs. I'm going to breathe in here and I'm going to twist to the right. You may have a bit more movement now. Breathe in one more time and twist again. Twisting your spine. Knees are directly in front of you. They're not coming with you. And breathing out, you come back. Good. I'm going to try the other side. Breathing in, you're coming around. Breathing out, you're twisting a little more. Now, if you've got a stiff shoulder on one side or all those different things, don't go beyond what that allows. Good. And let's just come forward with our arms on top of each other. You can look forward, bottom is pointing back. Bottom is pointing back. Press the feet into the floor. Breathe in here. Breathe out, suck your belly up. And just let your head come forward and relax. So let the head give some traction to the neck. Just allow it to hang. Breathe in, look up, chin up, come safely up. Good. Shake out your legs. Make sure you haven't held any tension in your body. And shake out. Now some people can't come to the floor to relax. They can't lie on the floor, they can't put their legs up on a chair. Those of you who want to do that, please do it. I'm going to stay seated and I'm just going to guide you in 9 rounds of Savitri rhythm pranayama, whether you're in a seat or whether you're lying on the floor. You could have your legs up on the chair. I will remind you what that looks like, just in case you've forgotten or nobody. There's somebody who hasn't practiced this before. It's so good for the lymph, for reducing your blood pressure, and even get your pancreas going. Okay, so we're like this. This is a really nice way to take Shavasana if you are working with a chair, or you can have your legs nice and long on the floor in Shavasana, or you can sit on the chair. I'm going to sit on the chair, so take up your position. Bones and flesh heavy wherever you are. I always like to have your head pointed to the north if at all possible, so that we are in line with the Earth's own polarity. You will relax much more easily, yet I want you to stay alert. Alert does not mean tensed up and full with adrenaline ready for action, but it means that you are aware. Your mind is aware and your body is relaxed. Your mind is calm but aware. So we're going to do 9 rounds of Savitri rhythm pranayama. Breathe out here. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, out, 2, 3. In. Hold, out. Hold, in. Hold, out. Hold, in. Hold, out. Hold, in. Hold, out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. breathe out, hold, let go of your practice. Continue in your relaxation position for a few moments. I'm just going to read an affirmation for you. And it's about trusting yourself trusting yourself in knowing what you need. In knowing what you need. Quite often we override our instinct. We don't listen to the little voice telling us that we may be betraying ourselves. And this is very poignant for me at the moment, and I enjoyed this morning. I can trust myself to know what I need. I have complete trust in my own ability to determine my own needs. My role is to fully express myself. Today, I embrace every opportunity to be who I am, and I am not ashamed of my needs. I am a unique and special individual, and my needs are a positive, loving extension of my personality. There are those who feel they know what is best for me. They think that they know what my needs are better than myself. I thank them, but I listen to my own guidance. I determine my own choices and the directions I will take in my recovery. Today I am willing to take time to listen to myself. Today I am willing to make a conscious decision to trust my inner voice and fulfill my needs. And that sometimes can be difficult for people, especially people who may have programming to the opposite effect. That we have to meet other people's needs and completely ignore our own, which is not right. Okay, so if you're lying down, please draw your knees into your chest and come to a seated position for us to close our session today. And just notice, if you're never used to doing chair yoga, maybe you like an active practice, how you feel. How the practice of yoga is not limited, it's not in a box, it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to mean you buy certain clothes or go to a certain studio. Yoga is as varied and as rich and as completely amazing as life itself. So you choose what you need when you need it. Bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Just be grateful for who you are, where you are in this manifest dimension of the universe, the world, the earth, where you are now. Be grateful for that. And shine your light and blessings on others. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I'm really grateful. When people show up and they send me some love, that makes it better. Otherwise I feel I'm just talking to myself. Next Sunday I'm going to do a little workshop around balance, and we're going to concentrate on the vrikshasana, the tree posture. Can be done with help from the wall or the chair in order to enable you to be freestanding as a wonderful strong tree. So see you next Sunday.